As we know that you have cracked the Microsoft internship, I would like to know what was your experience there and how you got that opportunity.
I had to appear for an online assessment that was a part of the screening round. And post that, I had to appear for three sets of technical interviews and one HR interview.
Hi, Saurav.
Yeah, Akshita.
Could you give a brief introduction about yourself to our viewers?
Sure, Akshita. First of all, I'm really happy that you invited me to your channel. Hey everyone. I'm Sourav Bera, and I am a final year student from Institute of Technical Education and Research, Bhubaneswar, also known as ITER. So I'm currently pursuing my eighth semester as a B.Tech student, and post that I will be joining Microsoft as a full-time employee. Yeah, brief about me.
Okay. What was your B.Tech journey till now? B.Tech journey.
Okay. So, yeah. So, like to summarize my entire journey as a B.Tech
Yeah.
student, I'll have to go right the point in time when I joined as a B.Tech student. So when I joined, I was nearly a newbie. I had a way understanding of the syntax of a language because I was being taught C++ in my 11th and 12th, but I did not really understand why these languages exist, or do we just need these syntax and a basic instruction to make a computer follow. But when I entered into my college, I really found a whole lot of passionate students over here. I was really enthusiastic about how these languages and compilers work. So I was really exploring stuffs in my college in my first year, wherein I was involving myself into various clubs where I got in contact with a whole lot of students as well as passionate people. I got into touch with the Google Developer Clubs that was local to Bhubaneswar. And from my second year, I was into development. I was learning new things. I was trying to implement something out of it. In my third year, I was totally engrossed into building new stuff so that I could potentially solve certain business problems. Was also a part of a few internships at that point of time. And in my final year, I have dedicated myself to research work. Yeah.
Saurav, I see that my colleagues, they face problem while they start learning something new. So what was your experience regarding this?
Yeah, Akshita. So in my starting days, when I was in my second year, I really felt a lot of things. I found students working in whole lot of variety of domains, be it cybersecurity, blockchain, web development. Majority of people going into the web development. There were few of them who were into Android, and a handful of students into machine learning. I really felt, what should I pursue, or which technical domain or particular skill or language should I learn? We were engaged into internship right from the first year. I used to think, how are the companies hiring them based upon their skills? So, like students, there are students who actually knew a lot when they joined, and there are students who were just newbies like me. I was really inquisitive about those things. I got into touch with them. I just explored a lot of things upon how they are learning particular stuffs, how they are engaging into some community activities, how they are participating into hackathons, they are getting themselves enrolled in certain internships. So I was really inquisitive about that. At that point of time, I realized I should have a taste of everything. I was really missing out that what should I pursue, or what is my area of interest. At that point of time, I really started exploring different stuffs. I made sure that I'm not wasting my time at the same time, because if you are a jack of all trades, you will certainly miss out a lot of things while you're learning, right? You won't be specialized in a particular thing. So I had a same feeling, which you also call as imposter syndrome. So gradually, when I had a taste of a lot many development skills, I found out my interest. I really found out my interest in Android and machine learning. I pursued upon those things. So my suggestion to anyone who is facing the same imposter syndrome as in their beginning careers would be that have a taste of the thing that you are attracted by or you have an interest upon, and then you'll gradually understand if it suits you or not. and you'll also get to know by interacting to people about the pros and cons of different technology stacks that are existing as they are using it.
Yeah. Can you mention some two to four things that the student should must do in his college life, and a one or two things that the student should never do in his 4 years of B.Tech?
To answer this question, we won't move in a generic manner. Rather, we'll try to address each of the problems that the student face at different stages of their life, of their career. Okay, so right from the first year, students complain that what languages or technical domain should they pursue. My answer to that would be having a taste of everything, if possible, and as well as you'll yourself figure out your area of interest based upon the things you like and things you want to develop or a solution you want to develop. But having a taste actually has a great advantage in terms of when you're working into a project, you don't have a single domain that you work upon. Be it a web development task, you do work with databases, that is backend. When you're working into Android, you are also maybe like integrating it upon certain cloud platforms as the backend, or you're developing certain machine learning models. You need to combine it with Android or integrate with it a web interface so that users can use it. So working in a project or maybe a hackathon does make propel you towards working into a intercross disciplinary domain. So having a taste of multiple language does helps. When you have a lot many time, I would suggest you explore different technologies. In the second year, when you have already tasted have a taste of most of the technologies, you can pursue your area of interest. Rather, in second year, I highly suggest students to have at least 1 to 2 projects, like as a personal project or maybe a team project. Propelling factor in this term would be participating in hackathons, because hackathons really propel students to develop certain solutions or projects in a very short deadlines. So this is highly recommended. In the third year, it's the time when people start facing the pressure of placements. It's at the end of the third year probably, or maybe in the final year, companies start arriving in colleges. So it's highly recommended that in third year students start having a logic building skills in terms of writing algorithms. It may be in any language, okay, C++,
Mhm.
Java, Python, any language, a material of that. But rather the focus should be upon building logic or algorithms, okay, by using the data structures. A basic understanding of the data structures and algorithms would work for this period. And finally, in the fourth year, once you're placed, you can think of doing some personal projects, or it's highly recommended that in your final year you involve into some research projects, which adds upon your into your STP, that is senior design project. Yeah.
So, as you mentioned about hackathons, and you are the SIH winner of 2020. So, please share your experience and what is the importance of hackathon?
Well, throughout my career, hackathon has played a very great role in shaping me what I am today. So, initially in my first year, I used to wonder what are these hackathons, or am I capable of developing a solution in entirely maybe 2 days or in a single day? Okay, so this was a thing that engrossed into my mind. But remember, like hackathon is not a single personal project. Rather, you work in a team of maybe 5 or 6 members or maybe 4 members, where you have people from different domains. Okay, so when you work together as a team and work into a single domain, you not only develop the technical skills, okay, you also develop leadership skills. You have a team working spirit that is developed into you, and which is very important skill that you cherish in your corporate journey. So having experience into hackathons is really important and also recommended in your second years as well as first year. Giving an example, in my very first year, I had participated into Smart India Hackathon 2020, okay, with a team of six from Bhubaneswar. It was really cherishable. I spent nearly 6 months in preparing the project that I was developing upon, and it was quite a novel project that we were working upon. To give a more explanation of that, it was actually a human activity detection system using your smartphone census data. So you have your smartwatches that use sensors to detect your activities. Similarly, we were developing a smartphone based human activity detection system. We had a chance to win the entire hackathon, and from entire Odisha, we were the first team to win the Smart India hackathon. And it was really cherishable moment for us. Apart from that, nearly I have participated in 30 plus hackathons and with different set of teams, and I do really cherish the achievements that I have got out of it.
The students have the doubt that they should follow the programming or they should move towards development. Means they get instant results in development. So they generally prefer to do development. And there is a misconception, or just you clear that. Is it a misconception that it is easy to get internship through development? And how the students can get internship without development if they are not working? All the doubts.
Well, this was something that kept my mind with when I was in my second year and third year. So the conflict between development and coding. Okay, so what should we pursue? So in a layman terms, when you're doing development, you're also coding. Okay, so it requires some amount of data structure knowledge in terms of arrays, linked list. Okay, but if you work in a broad basis, you need to have some development experience. That is highly recommended. It's not mandatory, but it's highly recommended that you have some development experience. This reflects your agility or as well as versatility towards learning new things, as well as developing some solutions to or converting your ideas into solutions that has potential to solve some real world problems. Talking about coding, okay, so coding is highly recommended among students of second year and third year. It's the actual time when you are supposed to do coding. Okay, there are many students who start right from the first year having knowledge of a particular programming language. That is also good, but as for me, I would certainly recommend that you do development in the first year, and doing second and like involving the second middle half of the second year and the entire of third year into coding. This really helps you build your logic as well as develop understanding of algorithms and the data structures that exist. Okay, if you ask me like how data structures are really used in modern day worlds, so data structures are used wherever you give an instance to me. Okay, so data structures right from the YouTube that you have that stores a whole set of data and presents you a recommended set of data, to the drives that you store data, or maybe some streaming platform. Everywhere data structures are used. So I would highly recommend that in the second year, third year, you should pursue some coding, or at least build your logic skills.
Could you tell how the student should start applying for internships and when should they start to apply?
Students do face a problem while having very less experience upon development towards the internship journeys. Okay, there are some students who do complain that, yeah, we are doing coding, so how are we gonna engage ourselves into internships? So answering both of the segments, if you are a development enthusiast, you can look upon various in your second year. Okay, probably it's recommended in your second year that you pursue internships. You can also do it right from your first year if you have certain skills, but for primary newbies, I would highly recommend that you learn particular skills in the first year, and then use those skills in order to develop some products or solutions for some company as an intern. Now the question arises: how do you apply for internships? So there are various platforms like LinkedIn Jobs. Okay, there are Naukri.com. There are Angel. That is a dedicated platform for internships. Even you can approach your local startups for internship opportunities. So there are wide range of internship opportunities. I have also shared you some links which you can find in the description for applying to internships. Now the question arises that for a person who is involved into data structures and algorithm, how are you gonna get an experience of an internship? So even there are opportunities for people who are coding enthusiasts. So you can apply at Scalar. There are Geeks for Geeks platform wherein you can apply for a technical content writer. You can also apply for a teaching assistant role at Coding Ninjas, as well as you have Interview Bit and other platforms wherein you can cherish your coding skills as an intern.
This was about the internship in the companies, but research internships are also there, but the B.Tech students don't generally follow those. So what are the research internships and what are its future scopes?
Exactly. So there's a huge question in the minds of undergraduates that is research and development really important? And if yes, then how should we get some experience upon research? So let me first answer to the first question. So research and development is important these days, and is even given a greater priority at an undergraduate level, because manual task has been quite automated by using bots and different services. Okay, so now the companies are looking forward for skilled enthusiasts who can develop some or innovate something out of it. So each company do have a research and development team. So now you would ask me, what is the ideal time for doing research and development? So the ideal time for doing research and development is the first year, where you have ample lot of time and you can engage with any professor within your college or beyond your college to work upon some research paper or research work. Okay, and gradually you can get it published in some journal or conference. At the same time, when you are in final year and you are already placed, you have a lot of time in hand, and you also required to develop a senior design project. So that is the ideal time that you can devote towards research and development. Also, in every summers, there are opportunities from the so-called great institutions and IITs and NITs, which actually propel out several research and research intern roles. Okay, wherein you can work under professors of those institutes as a research intern. Okay, and these projects, believe me, are really very interesting to work upon. So you can surely apply on those. There are few research internships available currently, which are open now. I'll just share the link in the description.
So, as you mentioned, the student should start DSA in his second year and should continue till third year. So, if a student is planning to start, how should he start and how should he start practicing on lead code? When to start lead code?
Well, this is a tough question indeed, but let me just answer in two parts. Okay, first, if you're preparing just for companies, and other, if you're really passionate about DS and CP. Okay, CP means computer programming. So, if you're just preparing for companies, you just merely require understanding of data structures and algorithms in detail and well. You need to understand and apply data structures and algorithms into solving real world problem solutions. So for those, you can very well use platforms like HackerRank, Geeks for Geeks, LeetCode. For beginners, I would highly suggest using Geeks for Geeks and HackerRank. And when you are quite done with the easy questions, you can move on to the harder set of questions. Also, you can do parallelly LeetCode, which also contains a set of easy, hard, and medium and hard questions. So you can rate yourself, you can appear for contest, and you can know what is your ranking in international or maybe national era. So this is recommended for students who are preparing just for companies, and the other set of students who are really enthusiastic about computer programming or data structures and algorithms. You can use a platform like Codechef, Codeforces, AtCoder. These platforms have a set of already predefined set of questions. Believe me, the problems are really difficult quality question, and if you're able to solve it, you can just analyze your position into a international or maybe national era. So also you can appear for Google Kickstart and Google Hashcode, and there are also very prestigious contests like ACM ICPC, which you can appear once you are advanced into these platforms. So it takes nearly 1 year to actually engross yourself into these data structures and algorithms. Post that, you can think of doing CP.
So, if a student has done development or DSA, so how should he approach to apply for the jobs? And how could he build an effective resume with the skills he have?
Well, now the main question arises that how should one apply for a job?
Hmm.
Now, applying for a job, there are multiple platforms, and these days, LinkedIn is just not a social platform for technical people, wherein you can share something, but it also hosts the jobs portal. I'll just share the link in the description as well. You can check out that. So, you can use LinkedIn Jobs, wherein a whole lot of companies post their roles, and you can apply for them. But the main thing is that you need to have a very well drafted resume. Now you'll ask me, how should we prepare those resumes? So for a well-defined resume, you need to use a well-defined template for it, and you need to have a good set of experience as well as accomplishment throughout your career in order to get your resume attractive towards the recruiters. Now, I have already mentioned how you can get these achievements. Once you're done with it, you can just use the overlay platform. I'll just share the templates link as well, which you can use to create your resume, an effective resume. Make sure when you are creating a resume, it's ATS proof. That is application tracking system. Okay, so what actually happens when you apply for a job? When you apply for a job, you provide your resume along with the other details. Now it's not a manual work that takes place behind, rather a machine or a bot that actually extracts a keyword, and the management team verifies whether the keywords or the particular experiences that you have or match job requirement. Only after that they call for an interview. So aligning your experience with the job role, that is job description, is very important. In the interviews, majorly you will be asked upon whatever experience you have, internship projects and accomplishments. Along with that, an important part of is that is all the companies require basic DSC understanding. So make sure you have understanding of arrays, linked list, stack, queues, trees, as well as advanced data structures algorithms like try. So these are really helpful in order to crack a resume, crack a interview, as well as I'll also share a link for a LeetCode portal, as well as there are interview bit portal, which you can use for mock interviews. Mock interviews really help you prepare, helps bring down your anxiety level when you are appearing for an actual interview, as well as makes helps you in rectifying yourself wherever you are going wrong. So you can invite peers towards to a mock interview, as well as I'll also share interview question platform which is available on LeetCode, as well as the interview experiences. People do share their interview experiences and interview questions post interview. So you can just filter out by company and the year, so that you can get an idea that what level of questions are being actually asked in those interviews. Yeah.
Oh, so as we know that you have cracked the Microsoft internship, I would like to know what was your experience there and how you got that opportunity.
Well, it was in my third year that I got applied for an off-campus internship at Microsoft as a cloud solution architect. Previously, I had applied for many other roles. For some, I got accepted, and I had as an intern. I had interned in those companies, primarily startups. Okay. Post that, having a certain set of internship experiences as well as accomplishments in terms of research projects, having experience of project building, I applied into Microsoft and I got selected for it. Primarily, I had to appear for an online assessment that was a part of the screening round. And post that, I had to appear for 3 sets of technical interviews and one HR interview. So the technical interviews were the experience overall was really great. The people in the interviews at Microsoft just do not test you upon your technical skills, but also test you upon how well you think, as well as analyze a particular solution, and then finally develop or maybe think of a solution. So talking about my entire internship experience, so I cannot explain in words how a rich feeling that was to work at Microsoft, wherein the one of the best set of mindsets entire the globe work, and we get an opportunity to interact with them, work in parallel to them. From the very first day, I was given a whole set of instructions upon how to prepare yourself, how to the best practices that you can adopt for being as a cloud solution architect role, as well as I got time to time guidance upon how to if I face some issues. So entirely the entire experience was very great. Apart from that, throughout my internship experiences, we had an opportunity to work in 2 projects that was a complete real world solution. Really working with those people was amazing. Yeah.
So, Saurabh, I would like to wind up this podcast with one thought or one message that you would like to give to the students of B.Tech or the principles that you follow in your life.
Well, if you ask a principle that I have learned throughout my, or I follow throughout
Hmm.
my B.Tech career, would be that I have moved in a bottom-up manner. Like in the starting, I had moved into a very generic form. Okay, and then gradually moved into specialization. Wasn't that clear? Now let's understand. I initially tried to explore a whole lot of things. I tried my taste upon what interests me more, and then I move into specialization. So
Hmm.
this actually really helped me. So what I would suggest to my peers as well as my juniors is that explore things as much as possible, not just the technical domain, but as well as whatever interests you the more. So this would be my principle or thoughts that I really cherish.
Okay. So it was great meeting you, Saurabh. Thanks for accepting the invitation and being here with us and sharing your experience. I'm sure that the thoughts, the values, and the experience that you shared would definitely help the students who's gonna watch this. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you so much, Akshita.
Okay.